Welcome to Sabotage Games, and most drivers think driving on the limit feels wild, like the car is about to spin, like you're constantly saving mistakes, like everything is right on the edge of control. But strangely, when fast drivers are actually on the limit, the car often feels calm. So how do experienced drivers know they're extracting everything from the car without crossing into a mistake? Because they're not waiting for the car to lose grip, they're feeling something much earlier. If you watch onboard footage from professional drivers or top level sim racers, one thing stands out immediately. There's very little drama, the steering inputs are small, and corrections are minimal. Everything just looks smooth and deliberate. Yet, the lap time shows they're operating at maximum performance. If the limit was truly chaotic, you'd expect constant corrections and instability, but instead, fast drivers look controlled, which tells us something important. The best drivers know they're on the limit before the car visibly struggles. Most drivers learn performance the wrong way. They assume the limit reveals itself when something goes wrong, locking a brake, mid-corner understeer, or rear stepping out on exit. But those moments aren't the limit. They're what happens after you've already exceeded it. The real limit exists just before instability, in a narrow window where many drivers pass through without ever recognizing. Fast drivers aren't really thinking about corner speed or aggression, they're managing tyre load. Every tyre only has a certain amount of grip available at any moment. Braking, steering and acceleration all draw from the same grip budget. As you approach maximum grip, something subtle happens. The car responds perfectly. Add a little steering, the car rotates exactly as expected. Release the brake pressure, balance shifts smoothly. And apply throttle, traction builds progressively. Everything just feels connected. But the instant you ask slightly too much, that relationship changes. Inputs stop producing equal responses, and that change is what fast drivers feel, not the slide itself, but the loss of proportional response. Here's where it becomes even more interesting. Drivers don't primarily detect the limit through what they see, they detect it through timing. Because just before the grip runs out, the tyres begin behaving differently underneath the car. As tyres approach peak load, they deform more against the track surface. This creates a tiny delay between driver input and vehicle reaction. You turn the wheel, and rotation follows a fraction later. You release the brake, and weight transfer feels slightly elastic. The car almost feels like it's stretching before responding. That microscopic delay is one of the clearest signals you're at maximum grip. Fast drivers recognize this instantly. Push beyond that point, and the delay turns into sliding. Most drivers never notice this stage because they only react once the movement becomes obvious. Fast drivers react earlier when grip is working hardest. And this can lead to counterintuitive truth. The fastest drivers aren't consistently trying to sit exactly on the limit. Sometimes they're deliberately operating just below it, because knowing where the limit is and choosing when to use it are completely different skills. And misunderstanding that distinction is one of the biggest reasons drivers stop improving. This is why elite drivers look patient on entry. They're constantly thinking, is the front tyre accepting more load? If response sharpens, they can push further. If the response slows, they've reached peak grip. So instead of attacking the corner once, they're continuously adjusting pressure all the way to the apex. Corner entry becomes a negotiation, not an attack. And here's the thing most drivers don't realise. Knowing where the limit is doesn't automatically make you fast. Because the real goal isn't touching the limit once, it's staying connected to it, corner after corner, lap after lap, without overthinking or forcing the car. That's exactly what momentum driving is. And it's why the fastest laps often feel effortless rather than aggressive. So, if this video helped you understand where the limit actually is, the video on screen explains how fast drivers stay there consistently using momentum and flow state. Watch that next, because it's essentially part 2 of this discussion. And if you want to keep improving your racecraft, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content. Big thank you to Tiger_29 and Ixulianu for the continued support on Patreon. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.